Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom. Okay, so I wanted to get into a lesson starting off in Ezekiel, the 9th chapter and the 4th verse. So Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson to the elect. So I'll go ahead and I'll get straight into it. This is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, and the him is speaking about the angel. Okay, continuing on. Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. That's right. It says go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. Okay, and we understand that we're a people before a place. So we know that this is speaking about the nation of Israel. Okay, continuing on. And set a mark. And when you go into that word mark in the Hebrew, it's the wa, which means exempt from judgment. Okay, so I'll read this again. And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. That's right, Lord willing, we be a part of that number. We call ourselves the hopeful elect. We are the ones that's truly sighing and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Okay, asking the Lord how long. Okay, waiting for the Lord to remove this damn devil Esau Edom from rulership. Okay, waiting for the Lord to destroy this place. Okay, we're the ones that's constantly complaining, man. Okay, when you look around, man, this place is extremely vexing, man. Okay, you see that pedophilia is being heavily pushed and promoted, bestiality, transgenderism, feminism. Okay, all these things is contrary to the ways of the Lord is being pushed and promoted from this place, man. Okay, so we know, man, it's extremely vexing being here, man. Okay, we're the ones that's constantly sighing and crying, man. Okay, so Lord willing, we be a part of that number. We're going to have that mark that it speaks about in Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, which is in the Hebrew, the wa, which means exempt from judgment. Okay, so I'll continue on. This is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 5. And to the others, he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite, let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. That's right. So the ones of you that don't have that mark that it speaks about in Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, which is the wa in the Hebrew, which means exempt from judgment, we know that you're going to be left out here to get destroyed. Okay, we understand that the angels will be able to get busy on a lot of you people out here, man, that don't have that mark. Okay, so we know that you're going to get destroyed. Okay, so I'll continue on. This is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. That's right. So it doesn't matter if you're old, you're young. Okay. If you don't have that mark that it speaks about in Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, you're going to be left out here to get destroyed, man. Okay. That's what's going to happen. It doesn't matter if you're 1 year old, you're 5 years old. Okay, you're 16 years old, or you're a woman, or old man, or old woman. Okay, it doesn't matter. If you don't have it, you're going to get destroyed. Okay, so I'll read this from the top again. This is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark. That's right. So the ones that's going to have that mark that it speaks about in Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, which is the one in the Hebrew, which means exempt from judgment, we know that they're going to be protected, man. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Okay, the scripture goes into it in Psalms chapter 34 and verse 7 about how the angel of the Lord encampeth round about him that fear him and delivered him, roughly paraphrasing. So we know that the elect, they're going to be protected during these times, man, and ultimately delivered. So I read this from the top again. This is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. That's right. And we know that judgment will begin with our people, man. Okay, so let me go ahead and get what else I have. Let me get this in 1 Peter, the 4th chapter. Okay, I'm gonna get this in 1 Peter, the 4th chapter, And I'm going to start at the 17th verse. All right. This is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. That's right. So we understand that judgment will begin with our people, man. Okay, the ones of the circumcision. Okay, the ones of you that know that you're Israelites. Judgment will begin with us, man. Okay, continuing on. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? That's right. So we understand that the ones of you that obey not the gospel of the Most High, we know that you're certainly going to get destroyed, man. Okay, and we know that the wicked of our people despise the words of the Lord. Okay, so let me go ahead and get what else I had. All right, let me get this. I'm going to get this in Proverbs. Okay, the 13th chapter. And I'm going to start at the 13th verse, okay? This is Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed. Okay, and we understand that when you despise something, you look down upon it, you hate it. Okay, so we know that 2/3 of our people, they despise the words of the Lord. Okay, so we know that they're going to get destroyed, man. Okay, the wicked of our people despise the words of the Lord, so they're going to get destroyed. Okay, so let me read this from the top again. This is Proverbs chapter 13, verse 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. Okay, who are the ones that truly feareth the commandment? The elect. Okay, we know that the elect are the ones that truly fear the commandment, and they're going to be rewarded. Okay, they're going to be protected and delivered, man. Okay, so let me go ahead and get what else I had. All right, let me go to Isaiah, the 59th chapter. Okay, and I'll start at the 19th verse. Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west. And what's in the west? America, which is Babylon the Great, is in the western hemisphere. Okay, continuing on. And his glory from the rising of the sun. And we know that the Lord will be reverenced throughout the earth. Okay, continuing on. When the enemy shall come in like a flood. And who's the enemy? Esau, Edom, and his military. Okay, we understand that they're going to come in like a flood. Okay, the scripture goes into it in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12 about how the devil shall come down with great wrath because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So these elites of Esau, Edom, they understand that they have but a short time remaining in rulership, man. Okay, so these damn devils, man, they're about to lose it. They're going to come down with great wrath, man. Okay, looking to put anybody to death that's coming against their new world order plans. Okay, and what is it that the elites of Esau Edom want to do? Make the CHIP, which is the MOTB, mandatory. Okay, you won't be able to buy or sell without taking that CHIP. Okay, but if you take it, you will be destroyed. And we're constantly warning our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the Hebrew Israelites, to not take the CHIP, which is the MOTB. If you take it, you will be destroyed. Okay, so I'll read that again. When the enemy shall come in like a flood. Okay, so we know that the enemy will come in like a flood. Esau, Edom, and his military. Okay, they're going to come in like a flood. But what's going to happen? I'll continue on. The spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. That's right. It says the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Okay, so we understand that it'll be divine intervention. Okay, we know that the Lord will make a way for the elect to escape. Okay, we understand that it's going to be some brothers that will receive spiritual power, man. Okay, we understand that it's going to happen, man. Okay, so we know, yes, it will be a standard that'll be lifted for the elect. Okay, we know that the Lord will protect the elect. We know that the elect will be delivered, man. Okay, we know that the Lord will deliver the elect, man. Okay, we know that the elect will be beamed up into the chariot and they'll be able to see the nuclear destruction of America, which is Babylon the Great, from the chariot. Okay, and with that said, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson to the elect, and I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.